Hi guys, welcome back to another book review. Today I want to talk about Where the Butterflies Land by Chrissy Dugas. So this one, as you know, I did receive in a PR package from her, and I have to say this one actually exceeded my expectations. This is going to be just a romance, but it is a very heartfelt emotional romance. It is not going to be a romance that's just like, oh, we fell in love, happy-go-lucky, the end. No. This one is super emotional. It had me crying at 12:30 in the morning, crying so loud, ugly crying, that my daughter came in. She's 13. She came into my room and she's like, Mom, are you okay? You're crying. Like I was crying that loud that my daughter could hear me down the hall, and came down the hall into my room. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, this book has destroyed me. And that's what I have to say. So this book is really great. I'm going to give you a quick overview of it. It is romance. It starts off with a girl moving to the city kind of to spread her wings. She's had a very, what's a good way to put it? A conservative upbringing. That's a good way to put it. A very conservative upbringing. The timeline in this isn't set in 1966, so it is set in the past. And so she goes to move to the city, and she's moving in with like some roommates and whatnot, and she happens to meet someone, and they have a relationship, and the relationship has its ups and its downs, and it has a crash and burn, and the crash, and it's a lot. I'm just gonna tell you, it's a lot, and it hurts, and it really tests, like, you can see her, the female main character, there's a lot of growth in here, a lot of determination, and the ending to me had me, the ending, like, I was crying anyways because it was a sad part before the ending ended, but the ending had me so flipping emotional. I can't even tell you. The best way I'm going to tell you on this one made me cry. There is a lot in this book that, like I said, it starts off very innocent and very conservative and sweet, a girl coming out of her shell and meeting someone. And then the relationship takes turns, and it has its rocky points and its ups and its downs, and they have struggles that people even struggle with today, that I know personal people in my own life that have actually struggled with this in their own relationships. So it's not something that is out of common, because it does struggle. I'm going to tell you right now, it struggles with addiction. And so this one is going to be struggling with addiction. And I know that a lot of couples still struggle with that. And then this one, but it really goes through that struggle in the relationship. And there's just parts in there before it crashes and burns. And it doesn't crash and burn just to crash and burn. Like, it crashes and burns with a finality crash and burn. And it's really, like, it's going to rip your heart out. It's going to rip it out. It's going to stomp it on the floor. And she's going to just do it. And then the ending just rubs some salt into the wounds. Because, like, you're all torn up over the book and the things that have happened previously anyways. And then the ending's just going to tear you out. It's just going to rub the salt inwards. And it's like, my husband's like, why do you read these books that are so emotional and have you crying so much? And I'm like, because it hurts so good. And he's like, there's something wrong with you. And I'm like, I know. But you have to understand, fluffy, feel-good romances do not get to you and cannot touch you in here. They don't make you think the way some emotional and angsty stuff. And that is what I'm going to tell you. This one is deep. Like I said, it is just a romance. Just a romance. I think it's a coming-of-age tale, I think is how she described it. But it's a romance. And like I said, but it is emotional. And it has got the ups and it's got the downs. I'm going to say for the most part, it is very clean. It is a very clean book. It kind of has some descriptive stuff, but not really. It's very, very mildly. I mean, it's enough if my daughter was like 16 or 17, I would be willing to let her read it. It's that clean. Like, that tells you it's fairly clean. So, I mean, it's fairly clean. It's just a good book. It's a really good book. Like I said, I have recommended this to a lot of people, especially in my own life. Actually, when I finished this, I sent it to my mom, and I'm like, because my mom, she reads fantasy romance, but she won't read the dark romance. I have aunts who will read romance, but they won't read the fantasy romance, and they won't read the dark romance, but they love a good romance. And so I'm going to admit to you, as soon as I finish this book, it's so good. So when I'm telling people in my real life, especially like my aunts and my mom, I'm like, you need to pick this up. This one is so good. I'm telling you guys, this one, emotional, super flipping good. I rated it 5 stars. This one, you guys just need to get this one out there. Like, I'm starting to say, if you love emotional romances, and it does not have to be dark, and it does not have to be, and you just want something to make you feel, I guess is a good way to put it, something that makes you feel, then this would be a great one for that. Like I said, I absolutely adore this one. This one, it's up there. I really like this. Like, this one is going to be in one of my more favorite books. Like I said, I categorize my favorites by genre, because it's not fair to pit a dark romance against a fantasy and a fantasy against a thing. And actually, for emotional romances, I would say this is probably going to be in my top 2. That is how good it was, how much it touched me, how emotional it made me. So, like I said, check this one out. I really think you guys would like it. I know this review is rambling on and on and on, and I'm sorry for the length of it, but I just want people to know this one is great. And if you are looking for a great emotional romance, then check this one out, because I absolutely love this one, and I think you might too.